Happy day 874 of What You Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. How to draw the line before you bite the dust. What do I mean by that? Today's idiom for Supersize Your Business was bite the dust. Bite the dust, of course, means to die, stop doing something, to fail, to succeed. And it brings up all kinds of notions, right? Fears, lots of fears it brings up because most people are afraid of dying, right? Some of us have been there, done that, so it's not so scary anymore. But most people, the vast majority of people, if you ask them what are their biggest fears, one of their greatest fears, it would be, of course, dying. Dying in public speaking, which, kind of blows me away because I was always scared to public speak. I remember high school speech class and debate and how scary it was. But once you do it, like anything else, it becomes easier and easier and easier and easier. And it loses its fear. Once you've done something, it doesn't have any power over you anymore because you've proven to yourself with 100% certainty that it didn't kill you, therefore you don't need to be afraid of it anymore. But what I'm talking about is drawing the line in the sand and committing to yourself what is right for you, what you will and will not do before you die, right? I think that we inevitably know that all of us will pass away sometimes. There's not very many things that we're guaranteed of in life, but we're guaranteed that we're not going to get out of it alive. We are going to at some point in time, and that's the interesting part, and what makes life so interesting really and makes it worth living is that we never know when that's going to happen. We really never do. We believe that we're going to live a long and healthy and happy life, but every one of us has a different journey, and we never know when that could just be cut short. I have come to believe that when your time is up, your time is up, and it doesn't matter because that's the only thing for me that can explain why people die in certain times and in certain ways that feel like the wrong timing. Well, it's the wrong timing for me, but it obviously was the right time for them. And I know that sounds cold and a little harsh, but I guess I've been there, I've done that, and I think a lot of what would happen if I had died when I had my sudden cardiac arrest, because I did. I just happened to have been brought back. All of the things aligned that I happened to go down in the right place at the right time with somebody that knew CPR. If I hadn't, if I just decided to walk a different route, which was really interesting because for some reason on that particular day, I decided to leave a meeting and walk a different route, to go a different way than I ever usually go. I mean, I think there was maybe one other time I'd gone that way in my life before going to my business. And if I had gone just directly to my business, my daughter and her friend would have found me, and they don't know CPR, not the bartender who did find me and helped me to make sure I kept going until the ambulance or the first responders and the police car could get there to jumpstart my heart. So we never know when that's going to be, right? We don't know. We just don't know. And we don't really have absolute control over that. We can do the best we can, but we really don't have control over that. One of those life's mysteries. But we can draw the line in the sand and decide how we're going to live and who we're going to be right now, and to continue to live toward being the best version of ourselves possible. So that's what I'm thinking about today. I'm thinking about that and about biting the dust and about not being around anymore for the people that we love and care about. And what, I can't control when exactly that's going to be. None of us can. But I can control how I'm going to live while I'm here. That is 100% entirely my choice because I choose to take 100% responsibility for everything that happens to me. Now, sometimes that's really, really hard. When I think about my marriage and being divorced, I take 100% responsibility for my role in that. Now, the thing is with relationships with other people, you can only control your portion of it. You can't control the whole thing. Whether it's our relationships with our significant other, our kids, our business partners, anyone in life, we only bring what we bring to the table, and they bring what they bring, and then we see what happens, right? And sometimes we don't always behave in the ways that we wish we had, but other times, we're like, this is what I bring, this is what I expected, this is who I am, and either it works or it doesn't work. And it's up to me to respond to that in the way that works best for me. Now, doesn't mean I always respond like a kind human being. Sometimes I can be a bitch too, and that's okay because that's part of who I am. So drawing that line in the sand, what we will and will not tolerate, what we do and do not expect from other people, the clearer we are with our own expectations and our own values and the things that are right for us, the clearer we are about that, the better we understand ourselves, the better we can communicate and understand and interact with other people. So thinking a lot about drawing the line in the sand. Get Up and Go challenge day 20 today, halfway point. It's a 40-day challenge this time through. And you know, we're learning the SOAP model. We're going to learn the SOAP model so that we can automatically make that just a subconscious foundational way of being and dealing with change, dealing with challenges. So today was all about A in SOAP, which is action, to take action. Yep, it's all good until the rubber meets the road and we have to take action. It's a way of drawing the line in the sand. Once we make a decision, we have to decide, you know, when am I going to take action? Well, the answer is always now. The only time we can ever take action is in the present moment. It's right now. Fun challenge, 365-day fun challenge day. Oh, 165 today already. And again, it was cool because it was all about challenges. And when you're faced with a challenge, you can either be a chicken or a champion. And so I got a kick out of that one. It's how can we be a champion when faced with challenges today? And that's to face it head on, morning Kathy, and just take action, right? Do what it is that is in your best interest to move you to the thing that you want as quickly as possible. But it doesn't have to be a great, big, grandiose thing. Just take some action toward what you want. One little step a day will get you there actually faster than taking a big grand step here and then waiting 3 months and then taking another step. That start and stop doesn't set up consistency, and it's harder to get momentum when you're starting and stopping and starting and stopping and starting and stopping. Actually, you don't get any momentum. But if you do one little thing a day to move you toward what you want, all of a sudden you're making huge strides. In the beginning, it's like compound interest. In the beginning, doubling that penny every day doesn't seem like much, but at the end of 30 days, it's like $10 million. And everything in our life works that way. Everything we do, every decision, every choice, every action compounds on the other. We are currently the sum total of all of our experiences up to this point. All of our emotions, all of our relationships, all of our interactions, everything we've eaten, everything we've had to consume or put in our bodies as fuel. Right now, this very minute, we are the sum total of everything we've experienced. Now, that means if I look in the mirror and I don't like, and it doesn't have to be a physical thing, some aspect of who I am right now, now let's go with the things that we have control over, right? Am I ever going to be 6 feet tall? No, the whole 5'1.5" of me, it's probably shrinking as I get older because all that gravity, right? Or, you know, bones and compression or whatever. I don't know. But my point is, I'm never going to decide, hey, I want to be 6 feet tall unless I'm walking on stilts. It's not going to happen. But I can control what am I thinking, what am I feeling, what am I choosing, am I living in alignment, am I being myself, am I consuming things that will give me energy and move me toward the direction I want to go, or am I doing things and having habits that work against me? And that's always our choice, right? That's your choice, that's my choice, and it's nobody else's, you know, no matter what situation we're in. And I've been in some hairy, terrible situations. Guess what? I got myself in those situations, and the only person that was going to get me out was me. And as soon as I realized that, that's when things started to change. But if I don't take responsibility for where I am and how I've gotten there, I don't figure it out. And if I don't figure out, I don't change anything. And if I don't change anything, I don't move in the direction that I want to go. What else have we got going on today? No granddaughter today, so a little more freedom than usual. My daughter's coming home in a couple of weeks, or for the 4th of July, so I want to make sure I organize some stuff that's been very disorganized for her, so when she comes home, everything is in tip-top shape. Don't know if I'll get it all done, but I'm making a concerted effort to. Also working on some, as far as the offline to online business goes, which is really what this segment is supposed to be about. Attended an all-day event yesterday, a virtual event, which was really fun. It was put on by a friend of mine, Heather in Havenwood, and she talks about using your podcast and syndicating that as a strategy for rolling things out. Well, I've had a podcast for a couple of years now, and I want to, part of why I got into a branding coaching program is I want to rebrand that. I was always Pajama Grandma for like the last 2 years, with the exception of the pandemic. When we came into the pandemic, I kind of just let it go by the wayside. I've wanted to knock off Grandma, okay? I want her to bite the dust, but when the pandemic hit, it's like, yeah, that's so inappropriate. That's not, I don't think that she should die during the pandemic. So my fun challenge, 365-day fun challenge, is still under my Pajama Grandma page and in the Pajama Grandma group. But Otherwise, everything I've been doing as Pajama Grandma has kind of gone by the wayside. Now, Pajama Grandma is still a piece of me, right? That's kind of still who I am. I just am not showing up in my robe every day as I do my videos and as I present information. So I'm rebranding and figuring out what the heck am I going to do with that. But now as she's talking about the podcast and the syndication, I realize I'm already doing different segments every single day creating content, which is probably way too much, right? Do I need to create content every day? No. So what she proposes is once a week you do an hour long, or not an hour, you spend an hour a week doing it, but it's like half an hour of content in different segments, and then you syndicate out those different segments to different platforms. So instead of sending the whole thing out to different platforms, you take just bits and pieces, and then they're transitioned for a specific platform. I've been kind of doing that in the segments that I do, because I share certain things in certain places. You know, the fun 365 day do one fun thing every day challenge. That's the one to warm up my voice every day so that I can actually talk. I wake up and I've got this gravel gurdy voice in the morning. So that's why I started doing that one. That is already kind of like a quote of the day, simple, easy thing that could be syndicated with help in a much better way than what I'm doing with it right now. The Supersize Your Business, I share an idiom every day. I take an idiom and I share, okay, what does it mean? Where did it come from? And how might you use it to impact your business in a positive way, right? Because, you know, we can have things impact us in a negative way if we let them go automatically. And today's was bite the dust. So if you think of bite the dust, it talks a lot about failure, not succeeding, and dying. How do you make that fit and apply that to your business, especially when so many people are afraid of the impact that COVID-19 is having and has had on their business and the changes and all the things that they have to do. So I twist the idioms so that they work for, hey, this is what you can do for your business right now. Well, that's already a segment. So how do I combine those together and then put those out in the world so that they have a better impact? And this is just my journal talking about what I'm doing as I transition from the offline world to the online world. So I don't know that this has a piece in anything or any syndication type efforts. So I'll think about it. I do like the model. I do like what she shared. We'll have a discussion about it next week to see how I might apply it to what I'm doing and transitioning in my business from Pajama Grandma to what it should be. And I personally am struggling with the what it should be, because like so many other entrepreneurs, I don't just have one idea or one group of people I want to help. We always want to help everybody, right? But if we're helping everybody, we're helping nobody. And so I think that my messages over the last couple of years has been very fuzzy and very unclear, because guess what? I'm fuzzy and I'm unclear about how I can best serve and who I am best here to serve. Who am I supposed to be working with? You know, it's those age-old problems that we ask ourselves, and we coach other people through them, yet we're not doing it ourselves. Hate that about myself, but I'm guilty of it too. I realized for the longest time I was attracting all kinds of coaching clients that didn't know what they wanted to do, because guess what? They were just like me. They had 20 things that they were good at, 20 things they'd done in the past, and they couldn't decide between like 3 or 4 things. Just have to pick one, go with the one, and then you can expand out from there. And so I'm taking my own advice. I'm working and focusing on challenges, and I'll expand out from there. So if I can help you in any way, hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow with another little update on what I'm doing as I transition from the brick and mortar world, the corporate world of business, to the online world. Have an absolutely awesome day. If I can help you in any way, ask in the comments below. I said I might not know the answer, but I probably know somebody that can point you in the right direction. Have a great weekend. Have a great day.